I don't know that I have ever seen a place where there was that much desperation in one place.
I guess that was the biggest thing, was how poor the people were, but how rich they were in spirit.
I think I got to see a glimpse of what Jesus saw when he was serving people and children and families. So.
Well, my name's Rick Odell, and I'm the youth minister from West-Ark Church of Christ. And I wanted to find another experience that was similar to Mexico for our students to participate in. And I think taking them to Honduras is a great opportunity in terms of the culture and the language, and you know, everything's just very different, and it causes us to kind of stop for a second and take stock of what we've been given in the United States and the culture that we live in versus what we see with our brothers and sisters in Honduras. And I'm very proud of our group for working very hard in hot conditions, and they had a lot of willingness, but not necessarily a lot of knowledge of how to build a house or some of the other things that we were doing, and yet they worked very well with the local brothers and sisters that worked with us in building homes and doing the other things, and they really just jumped right in. I was very, very proud of them.
I felt that it was something that would more open my eyes to kind of the situation that some of my brothers and sisters in Christ are in other parts of the world. To see a different culture and different lifestyle, in addition to obvious benefit of being able to build some houses for people.
The condition of the rural housing, it surprised me. I knew we'd see some rough stuff, but dirt floors and things, but just the sheer rawness of the situation for the people. Of basically all it is a roof over their heads to sleep at night. And that's literally all it is.
The second house we built on Tuesday, it was probably my favorite. I really liked that the lady we built it for, you could just see it in her face, and every time we talked to her, that she was just so appreciative and she was so thankful that she was going to get this house.
Thank you. De mi parte, de mi baby, thank you. Dios le bendecirá siempre. Gracias.
I kind of expected that we would, build some houses, meet some people, but it's a lot more dramatic, a lot more radical, I guess, than that.
I don't know what I really expected, but it was really overwhelming, like that we built 3 houses and gave 3 families a place to sleep at night. And it's just a really great feeling. Anytime you come in contact with a culture that's very different from yours in the name of Christ, it really gives you, I think, the impetus to reframe your own perspective about your own faith and what's important and what's not important. And I think a lot of times I find myself majoring in minor things, and this really helps me to crystallize what's really core gospel.
I think the memory that sticks with me most is the scenes of the city dump, where we went out and helped a group feed some people out there. Unbelievable smells, unbelievable sights, and the people that we met there, are just they're God's children just like we are, and they deserve better than what they have.
I got to see here how God works in the world, and how He takes people that are lost, people that are in need, and brings them to Him. At the dump, there's no law. There's just people, and they live at the dump, and it's crazy. And we got to see a bad situation turn to preaching, a man preaching Jesus and the gospel and love to those people, and they took it to heart, and that's amazing because they were so quick to turn one way or the other.
Any bad situation can be turned into a way to teach and preach about God.
I didn't expect to see as much poverty and be right in it as much as we were. So I guess, I don't know, it was more touching than I expected.
They just want to love on you. They just want you to be there for them. and just watching kids around. It's just wonderful.
One thing I think is always interesting about when you go on a mission trip, you kind of, at least I used to think that whenever I'd go on a mission trip that it was for me to help other people. In reality, I always get more help out of it, and I learn a lot more about myself.
My base expectation was exactly what I expected. There, of course, were things every day that blew me away and just caught me off guard, but I expected to find God, and I found Him every day, everywhere.
I really didn't have any high expectations, except I kept asking God to challenge me, and boy did He challenge me.
These are all God's people, and to show a little bit more care and concern and compassion for all people.
You know, Rick's fond of saying that until you actually come on one of these trips, you cannot know what it's like. You can hear the descriptions and see the videos and talk to people, but until you actually come, you don't really know what it's like. He's right. It's more intense than I imagined. It's more fulfilling than I imagined.
It's not just about a mission trip, and it's not about going away to a foreign country. It's about challenging me as a Christian and put me in a position where I really have to struggle with the question, am I really living out this faith that I say that I have? And is my mission not just in Honduras, but is it every day at my job or at my school or in my family or in the places that I go and the people that I hang out with? And I think it's too easy for us to compartmentalize our life into, you know, let's go on a mission trip somewhere else, when in reality our whole life is supposed to be about mission.
I came because of my daughter, and that was fantastic, but I've developed a closeness to the man here that came with us that I wouldn't have gotten at home. And hopefully I will have a conviction at home like I do here, because I don't have this conviction at home.
We can serve wherever we are, and we don't have to go this far away to serve. That we can serve at home just like this, and it'll look for more opportunities to serve in our own communities.
I think I kind of figured out that relationship is probably the secret to life, and just stepping away from all this stuff that we have put up around us in the States, and just breaking away from it and getting back in touch with people, getting back in touch with my own family, my church family, and then just going out from there and just loving on as many people as I can. And the friends that we have gained, and just the time that we have been able to spend here in your name.
It's just too easy to just kind of sit in your pew and not reach out to somebody that may be lonely. I mean, you really don't know, because we don't really have a lot of those relationships, and I think that's going to be a very positive thing for our congregation that they're going to bring back with them.
The relationships that I've built with Jairo and Lorenzo and Miguel, those guys, those are going to last a lifetime, and just the memories that I've had. Because I was ready to do some real hard labor, and you know, my expectations were met on that, but it was so much more.
I thought we were just going to come and help some people and then go right back home. I didn't expect to really interact with the people there. And I don't know, it changed a lot, because when we got there, everybody was so welcoming and they wanted to spend time with us, and that was just different for me.
I think I'll take back, definitely remember all the people, remember the relationships that we built here. Like people have said, a different point of reference when we go home, to think just how blessed we are and how different it is all over the world.
I wasn't expecting to leave here with part of my heart here. I wasn't planning on leaving here as changed as I guess that I am, or I was expecting to impact people and have them impact me as much.
I expected people to be unhappy and to be mean, but they were really nice and really happy people.
I think when I go back, I'll be a lot more humble, and I'll just take back all the experiences and all the new things that we've learned, and I'll just also remember, like, if something happens, I'll just remember, like, going back to that moment and just try to go from there and realize what we've learned.
I had no idea that the people were going to be so wonderful. All these different people and places that you hear about, there's faces to them. It's not starving people or poor people. It's people.
There was an instant family that was discovered here, and I will never, ever forget that. It's just an instant welcome
my brother, my sister. You're part of my family. It's nice to meet you.